Eric Dooley, Southern University, just his second season as head coach, 1 week away from the Bayou Classic, end of the, playoff chances, SWAC championship chances, came with their loss against Prairie View, and 3-4 days later, he does not have a job. Symone, this was the big story in HBCU news this week. It seemed to come down to two things: what Southern University fans thought and how they saw it, and how everybody else who does not have an emotional connection to Southern saw it. And they're two stark contrasting views.
Yeah, so apparently Eric Dooley lost the fan base. I didn't know, decision makers made decisions based off of fans' feelings, because again, fans, when things don't go our way, we get emotional. So I was surprised that,
and that's a fan's job.
That's our job, fandom, fanatics, you know what I mean? We're going to root and cheer when things are good, and we're going to let you know every down if we don't agree with a play call. So it was basically made clear that one of the big decisions, the decision factors, was that he lost the fan base. I was a little bit surprised because, again, like I said, I thought it would be more performance-based and not feelings-based. But at the end of the day, the fans got what they want. Eric Dooley is out of there. Southern has a very strong fan base, so of course you do want to keep them happy, keep them invested, keep them buying tickets, keeping them in the stands. And a lot of Southern fans were saying they didn't even want Eric Dooley in the first place because of his stints around the SWAC. They wanted some fresh blood in there, and that seems to be the theme.
But that was contradictory to what Roman Banks, the AD, said at his press conference. He said when they hired Dooley, there was a lot of excitement.
From who?
He said, this is what he said. He said ticket sales went up. There was a big buzz. They go to the championship game that year. Eric Dooley had just come from Prairie View, where they had a SWAC championship game appearance. Now, here's the common denominator. His last year at Prairie View, his first year at Southern, they lost to Deion Sanders. But here's a coach who's had a winning record. Up until this past weekend, they still had a shot at making a SWAC championship game. So it was not wins and losses. It was personality driven. And if you know Eric Dooley does not say anything. He is probably the most Mr. Cliche coach. I mean, during the press conference, Roman Banks, the AD, was talking about his performance at the podium. Not practice, not games. How he responded to losses at the podium. They didn't like his press conference answers. Like he didn't say, according to them, that he didn't take that responsibility for losses and the direction of the program. Look, if that's the deal, if that's cause, usually what happens is a coach will get another year, and they'll say something like, "Look, fire your offensive coordinator. Fire this guy. Bring in somebody else." There's usually some sort of ultimatum and a little more rope. But to have a winning record, your first season you make it to the SWAC championship game, but it comes down to your personality not really clicking. And you could talk about how the offense did, how the defense did. Well, all that amounts to wins and losses, and you still had more wins than you had losses.
Yeah, I agree 1,000% because they want to, like the fans were telling us and going into particulars like, oh, we only won this game because we only won that game because.
Yeah, they were like, we backed into the SWAC championship.
Whoever goes, every team is dependent upon other teams losing. Like your success postseason wise and your record and whether you get into the SWAC championship game or the Celebration Bowl is dependent upon other teams losing. So saying we only got in because 3 other teams lost, well, that's how sports works. Like if other teams aren't losing, there's absolutely no way you're going to get in. So I don't know. I think it is what it is. The fans got what they want at the end of the day. I just hope the next coach knows he got to be having that personality on him. Because apparently winning isn't, Jalen Hurts says, the main thing is the main thing. The main thing is winning games. Dooley was doing that.
Somebody else says keep the main thing the main thing. We don't want to talk about that.
So you saying Jalen didn't start that? I feel like Jalen started it.
I don't know. But at the end of the day, just make the job description clear. There are coaches out there that have the personality. There are coaches out there that can win the press conference, that will, even after a loss, make you still believe that, hey, we got a winner here.
I would take a winner. I would take a back door into a championship over somebody who gonna be shucking and jiving and making me laugh and kiki in a press conference. I don't care what's going on in the locker room. As long as 11 of y'all get out on this field and result in a win, that's all I care about.
It came down to this, though. I think we have a bit of an echo chamber within the Southern fan base and in any fan base. Like, there are things that they're privy to and they believe, but as a media outlet, we can't report your feelings. We can only report the things that we know, and there's nothing more tangible than you won this many games, you lost this many games. I'll put it to you like this. Every person that called me that was not, or texted me that was not, emotionally connected to Southern was like, what is going on? And everybody in the comments who were adding us at HBCU Gameday that has an emotional connection was like, y'all can't see it? Like, y'all didn't see this all along?
No, I saw y'all winning. I saw y'all lit at the SWAC championship game. I saw y'all dancing and happy when y'all was in the SWAC championship game. That's what I saw. Now they don't care about the SWAC championship game. Now they don't care, but y'all was carrying last December.
There are some people who have the personality that can potentially satisfy this fan base and keep everyone excited there in Baton Rouge.